Matt, I'm going to hand the mic. I'm going to hand something to you.
Sure.
And allow you to give some conversation, 10 or 2, if you listen to any of it.
I did.
The Tyler, the Creator album, Call Me If You Get Lost. Matt, you gave this thing a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Go on, my friend.
It's phenomenal. I don't like, so Tyler's sort of really interesting to me because I feel like when I was younger, like when I was in high school, that's when he was a part of, that's when like Odd Future was big, and when Wolf and Goblin were out, and he was just very sort of shocking. Like he was sort of very just trying to cause controversy with, things he was like rapping about. But then sort of like subtly like beneath it all, he was like making all the beats himself, and stuff himself. Like he was very intentional about like all these things, and just kind of like from then to now, he's just kind of matured in a really like interesting way. Like, I don't know if you guys have much other familiarity with his stuff. Like, have you listened to any of his other like songs or albums?
That's why. Yeah. I didn't send my rating yet, but mine was, you probably have more points, but I gave it a 4 out of 5 because it gives me his older music's vibe. He his like stuff, like when he was like, the stuff Griffin used to listen to when he was younger, that type of music.
That's my experience with Tyler, old Tyler, the Creator is my experience with him.
Like Goblin and Yonkers. That's when I really liked him or enjoyed his music. I mean, I like hard. That's the type of, I just like hard beats and blah, 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 just,
obviously it's not made for me because I turned it on, listened to the intro song, made it onto the second song, listened about 45 seconds, and I said, I can't listen to this. It's just not for me. I don't know. I'm not knocking him as an artist because he's extremely talented in his own right, but
kind of made me laugh out loud in a couple of songs.
I thought is this guy trying to be 6ix9ine, like screaming into the microphone and saying just random, I don't know. Maybe
it wasn't. No.
Maybe it just is. Maybe he's just making references and stuff that are just going straight over my head.
Also, 6ix9ine is trying to be Tyler.
That's probably true. That's probably true.
See, like when I turned it on, I was like, I thought, because his recent music has kind of just been like, I don't know, like a little bit like less hard and more like poppy and like, I don't know.
Well, no, Igor was the least pop album ever. That was his the album like just before this. Grammy Award winning.
I don't even think I listened to it.
Really?
So I must not be not educated enough. But this gave me like, I thought it was going to be a little bit like poppy and fruity, but then it was hard, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
My bass was bopping in the car. I was like, oh boy, okay.
You got to listen to rap albums in the car. You can't listen to it anywhere else.
Maybe
I do headphones.
In your headies, but
in a quieter room.
Yeah.
No background noise.
No.
Yes.
No. I don't know. Just wasn't for me. Maybe I'll give it a shot and go back and listen to the rest, but
yeah, I would say there's definitely some singles on there, like Lumberjack. That's a good one
for sure.
Whatever the one with Pharrell, I can't think of the name of it.
Neither.
It's like nearly at the end. It's really good. Pharrell like just raps his head off. It's phenomenal.
Let's go.
But yeah, I think the production on it's like really, really weird, but really good. Just like a lot of like different beats and stuff going on, and I think that like that's a really interesting thing. Sort of like, I don't think like comparing him to Kanye is like a unique take, but he's like definitely trying to like use his albums to like tell like stories and like arcs now, and I think he does that with lyrics and with production and with like all this different stuff. And one of the things that like I feel like I say on a lot of these like music episodes that on things I rate highly, it's like I listen to it and I can see that there's more going on than I pick up on like the first time. Like I feel like each time I listen to this, it's going to be something new, and that like that really is what gives me the 5 out of 5, as well as just like a lot of the stuff I was just really, really vibing with, like just upon like first listen.
Yeah, I think I get that. And then when you re-listen, find more meanings and more like things you're like, oh, I didn't even hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. And also he's just like have you like seen any of the stuff like he's doing like on Twitter with this, like with the videos, and he's just like doing crazy stuff. So like the first single he dropped, that was Lumberjack. And apparently if you listen to it like on like with repeat turned on, it's like perfect loop. Like it's just seamless. Like you won't even notice it. Just the way the song like begins and ends is the same. And then it's bothering me. Whatever that song with Pharrell is. Call Me If You Get Lost, Pharrell. Just tell me what it is. Gosh, this is so annoying. I'm so sorry. This is terrible radio.
It's not.
Juggernaut. That's what it is.
Juggernaut.
Yep. So he released a video with that, and it like starts with him like walking through an orchard or whatever, and then ends with him falling out of the sky because of course. But then like if you look at the beginning of the video in the background, you can see like someone like falling like out of the sky. So it's like there's something going on with like loops and like repeats and like stuff like this. And so it's just like all that stuff that's like out there to like figure out. And like, you know, you'll hop on like Reddit and like stay up until like 4 a.m, just like seeing what people are like thinking about it. Like, I think that's really interesting. And I think like Tyler does that a lot. Kanye does that a lot. Childish Gambino does that a lot. So like, those are the things that like I really connect to. And also it's just good. Like that's something else I say. Like when it's music, it's like I don't know how to describe it other than just like I like it.
Right. Yeah, I get it. If it gets my head bopping, I'm like, all right, I can, you know, know if I don't know how to explain it. Like feel it.
Yeah.
Not feel it, but like, yeah. Like
it just hits.
If it's just like this was nothing like a Playboi Carti album.
Right. Also I didn't hear any like features that were like bad or like out of place. And that's always something. There's more features on here than I was like expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Tyler was normally the kind of guy who didn't do the features. One thing I do like about Tyler is that he's kind of like, he's in that camp of people who will release an album and not drop who the features are until like a week later. Yep. And then when you're listening to it, you get surprised by like all of these different artists. You're like, let's go.
Right.
So
I like that better.
And like, I don't see it on the feature list, but there was definitely a few songs with Frank Ocean doing vocals, and that's always a plus. I love Frank.
Yeah, we love Frank. So a good album then.
It was.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I would say maybe like hit up Spotify for just like the singles, see what like those think. Because I think like if you're not kind of ready for like a narrative album or that, like that's just, you know, like you said, it's not going to be what you're listening for. So that'd be like my recommendation to you, Logan, as well as any of the other listeners who think it's just kind of hard to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Then I'll definitely give it a shot and see if anything sticks.
We'll see.
That's Call Me If You Get Lost by Felicia the Goat, Tyler the Creator, and go listen to it if you're a fan.
Tyler Baudelaire, aka Bunny Hop. Yeah, that's another thing. Tanner, what do you think about the DJ drama like interludes like throughout the whole thing and the Gangsta Grizzle?
Gangsta Grizzle.
It's quite interesting.
I was not expecting it. And that's another thing. It's like, what? Okay, so that's, you know, those are happening at like specific times. Like they're not just like randomly thrown in. So it's like, what does that mean? Like all these like layers. It's like, I feel like I'm watching WandaVision all over again. It's like trying to find all the connections.
You love that.
You love it.
You love all the interweavingness and complexity of an album.
Interweavingness.
That shows you that the artist has talent, especially in their production and all that. Because like you just said, like everything is there for a reason. Like,
yeah.
But what are those reasons?
Right. And like when it's just a random, you know, sorry, but not super relevant drop of Gangsta Grizzles, just kind of, it's like it's not aesthetically pleasing. So it's not just for the sound of it. I know that.
Well, I'll definitely go back and give it another try and listen to it and maybe circle back in a couple weeks and we'll see what I thought.